Hi, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a haunted house for a ghost family. I don't exactly know the entire relationship between the family members. I would let you decide that, but for the outside, I wanted to go for like an abandoned house look, and then on the inside is a little bit more livable, except for this front entryway. I wanted this area to kind of match the outside, so if there's any spookers or people who like come in and are just curious, they're like, okay, this really is an abandoned house, but little do they know that they are ghosts living here. So I do switch out that table at the end of the video during the screenshots, and so you'll see a different table. Just wanted to mention that because that is the only item I used from the Spooky Day pack, and everything else is from the Life or Death pack, and so since that was the only item from the Spooky Day stuff, I just decided to switch it out for a base game table. So we are just going to be finishing up the entryway, adding a coat rack. I wanted this overall feeling to be an abandoned home that's like older, kind of like in a Victorian era. I did do some research on Pinterest for abandoned Halloween homes, and so I did kind of have a very like good exterior I wanted to accomplish in this home, and so that kind of like helped with the shape of everything in the interior. So, like I said, I wanted this to be an older home, so everything is very closed off from one another. It's not like an open concept with its floor plan. So, we are just going to be adding some rocking chairs and going to be adding the pet bird from the Life or Death pack. I haven't seen any Sims play with it until I was about to take screenshots, and then the welcome wagon came about, and one of the ghost neighbors was playing with that pet bird, and I gotta say that was pretty cute to see a bird play with Sims, because unless you have like the cats or dogs pack or the cottage living pack, you don't really have like an animal um ha- in your Sim's house. I guess you could also have horse ranch, but it's nice to have like another ability to have like a bird or an animal in your home. So we are just going to be adding some artwork and just going into the kitchen now. This is a very small and honestly kind of tight kitchen, and I probably didn't help by putting a fake island in the middle of the kitchen, but it just felt empty, and so I had to make a spot for the island. And so this is a nice play-tested kitchen, and it felt kind of weird in a way to use these nice appliances next to this broken window. I guess it was saying I wanted the exterior to be an abandoned feel, and I wanted the interior to be like a nice normal home. So I felt like I should have been using a little bit more rundown cabinets in this kitchen, but I am overall happy with the final version of this kitchen, and I do come back to add like a shelf, like a bookshelf underneath the window. So here is that island that is just a table, or some won't be able to prepare food on it or anything. So we're just going to be adding some decorations onto that so it looks like a kitchen cabinet, and your Sims could prep on it, but they can't prep on it. So we are just going to be adding some candles onto the island just to kind of help with the overall spooky feel, but also your Sims can't prep on it. So I thought it would be a good idea to just put something that be like, okay, your Sims really can't cook on it because of that candle item. and I'm just gonna be finishing up the kitchen and going into the dining room and looking at my calendar. There is a few more days into Halloween, so I hope everybody has a happy and safe Halloween. I am looking forward to passing out candy in my neighborhood, and so let me know down in the comments your favorite Halloween tradition, just something you like to do. Is it like going to a haunted house? Is it dressing up as a character? Is it passing out candy, watching a scary movie? I am personally a very like cute Halloween girl. I don't really like watching scary movies. I'm more of like a pumpkin pie instead of a scary movie, or like hot chocolate instead of a pumpkin spice latte type of person. So we are just going to be adding some items into the dining room, trying to make it not so empty. I was imagining in my head that there would be a longer dining room table, but I wanted the marble to be matching, kind of be consistent throughout the house, and so I went for the smaller dining room table, and now we're just going to be adding a mirror, so it's a kind of little hallway behind the stairs to get into this dining room area. I thought it'd be nice to kind of have it tucked out of the way. And now we're just going to be adding a coat, or not a coat rack. I was imagining it would be a little like kitchen hutch area to put kind of more of the like dishes away that you don't want on display. And now we're just going to be adding a few things into the corner, but I couldn't really think of what else to add into the corner, so those other two corners just got lights, nothing really fancy. It is a very simple dining room, but it's kind of nice to not have like a room where it's very simple and not too ornate with like stuff and busy. So now we are on the second level. I made this area kind of like a loft space, so we have a desk area. I didn't put a computer on this area because I was trying to keep it like to have a old time feel to it, but if you want to, you can add a computer onto that space. But now we're just going to be adding a bookshelf up underneath the kitchen, and I wanted to add this bookshelf because I didn't want to cut off the window up above, so we're just going to be adding a lot of books along the rail of the kitchen and trying to make them different heights, and I do make them different colors so they look like it's not just like a copy and repeat situation. So we're just going to be making sure nothing's floating, going to be changing those colors. And if you want to watch more spooky Halloween themed videos from me, I did create a playlist this year with all of my occult themed builds. So if you want to see more Halloween content from me, you can go check that video out. I did do another abandoned house, and I feel like that is a truly abandoned house, and it's not a pack limited build unlike this build. So if you want to go see another spooky build from me, you can go check out that playlist. It probably would be the easiest way to find that video. And now we're just going to be adding a different table into this dining room. I kind of forgot about I switched out these tables because I realized the table was actually a nightstand, which I know it could like work either way, but I wanted it to not repeat too many items in this home. So we're just going to be adding some art, adding some lamps, and I do switch out the bed and move that bed into the second bedroom of the house. I probably should have said this a lot sooner in the video, but this is a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom home, and it is built in the world that came with the Life and Death pack. All the information will be down in the description, and if you're looking at that currently, while you're down there, if you could please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, that would mean so much to me. I am so happy with the growth that my channel has been receiving. It really is amazing to me. I am still just a small little content creator here, but it really makes me happy to see a lot of people enjoying my videos. So best way to share my videos is to just like and comment, so then the algorithm knows to push out my videos to other people. So we're just going to be adding a picture and going to be matching the mirror with the picture so it's consistent. And now we are in the one and only bathroom of the home. And I do make this bathroom a little bit smaller. I feel like there was too much space, too much empty space in the middle, so I do shrink it a little bit, and then that does help more room in the loft area to have more space to move around. And so we're just going to be adding all the essentials into the bathroom and going to be making sure I don't forget anything like the toilet paper, and going to be finishing up that area. And now into the second bedroom, and I was going to make this kind of a different feel. I was thinking of having a funeral service room because that's what the original home that was on this lot had, but I just couldn't really get myself to do that. I'm not really a big fan of the whole death and gore stuff when it comes to Halloween, and so I couldn't really get that out and make a a funeral room, which I know is kind of accurate to a Victorian home or a home in an older period where they would have the funeral service in the home. And I heard somewhere that they had to install special doors into homes so they could move the casket in and out. I don't really know, but I just couldn't do that. So now we are in the backyard and going to be adding a nice swing set, and I couldn't add my or get myself to add a funeral room, but I did manage to talk myself into adding a little burial thing on the lot. So, like I said, this was probably for a ghost family, and so maybe that's the ghost, and then the rest of the people in this lot are still alive. And so we are just going to be making this area very simple back here, and going to be heading towards the screenshots of this video. So I hope everybody has a safe and happy Halloween. If you enjoyed watching, please come back next week for another Sims 4 video. It will not be a spooky video because we will be into November. I try to keep my spooky occult builds in the month of October. So if you enjoyed watching, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content from me, make sure to follow me over on Instagram. My username is the same as YouTube, so it's pretty easy to find. And if you want to play in this home, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. But I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!